Hello everyone, I all hope you had a very wonderful day and a very much of a great day indeed, guys. As you can see, guys, on today's weather, it's very quietly rainy today and very quietly cold as well. I all hope you guys are quietly dressed warm and very quietly, indeed, very warmer and very quietly safe as well. Despite this, guys, I'm very superly grateful for your support in watching and in viewing my episodes from shorts and from long videos and especially from TikTok as well. May you all please stay safe and be very happy and keep doing whatever it is that makes you happy as well, guys. And remember to love yourselves and also to continue doing whatever it is that you're doing as well. May God bless you all and protect you all. Superly grateful, truly grateful for your support, guys, from everywhere else, from YouTube and from TikTok as well. Truly grateful for your support, guys. It truly means a lot. And from those of you who also are subscribing as well in my YouTube channel, truly grateful for you guys as well. May you have a blessed day and a great week indeed, guys. Stay safe and stay happy. On today's episode, we're to speak about the superhumans, the superhuman race of the sacred world that exactly coexist and reside within humanity, who have lived in the sacred world and in the sacred universe for many centuries and for many years in the sacred world and in the sacred universe and within humanity over a decade and over many centuries ago as well, which do not exactly quietly founded and which are not exactly quietly founded and they're not exactly quietly founded by the original creatures and beings of the supernatural races or of the alien races or of the Phoenician hunter of the known as the original founders of the sacred world and of the sacred universe. They were quietly a different powerful species of creatures who were quietly born with different powers and greater abilities, were not exactly founded by the sacred founders of the sacred world or the star founder of the star universe or excuse me, of the star founder of the star universe or the golden founder of the golden universe or any of those ancient powerful magical godlike monks beings. They're not exactly founded by them. The superhuman race of super beings were quietly born and quietly were created and resided within the sacred worlds, and are born from different magical worlds and planets and civilizations of their own, and their own genetic DNA and powers and on their own genetic DNA and powers began to evolve over time during the ancient times and during the glorified days of the sacred world's conflicts and wars. So let's exactly begin. The superhuman race were actually being discovered during the middle centuries of the sacred wars and conflict after the original Lord of Magic began his all-out campaigning and wars against the supernatural and the alien races. During that time, many supernaturals and many aliens and Phoenician hunters began adopting powerful superhuman abilities, which is quietly known as the super gene, which quietly granted the Phoenician hunters and supernatural creatures powerful supernatural powers and abilities of teleportation, opening portals, controlling fire, controlling ice, water, energy, life, magic, and powerful abilities are fully granted to some of the other creatures and all of the inhabitants as well. Those other creatures and beings began all coming together as they all discovered that they were all powerful hybrids, or rather hybrids, or rather tribrids, or rather powerful creatures that can easily adapt and easily began to highly evolve among the supernatural community and within the alien community and within the Phoenician hunters and within the magical and within the dark magical creatures of the sacred world's creatures and species. These creatures all came together and they began living among sacred worlds and planets of their own kind, which some were powerfully, which some were created in the images of their own kind, while they discovered many powerful secrets about their own origins and about their kind's species origins, which they were able to tell that there was a powerful ancient superhuman who rose from the occasion of the sacred world and began becoming one of the greatest and most ancient beloved god became one of the most god-liking monk anti-hero who was exactly destined to rule the superhuman species and the rest of the colony, while the other superhuman races began to adopt magical powers and magical magical powers and dark magical abilities, which made them all dark magic users, while the others became dark druids, dark witches, and dark faithful. Others became powerful earth fairies and earth witches. Some began to adapt into becoming greater good warlocks and good powerful dark warlocks. Others became powerful formidable warlords and powerful dangerous Phoenician hunters, evil dangerous Phoenician hunters. So as you can see, the superhuman race began adapting many abilities and many different fractions of each personalities of each of these supernatural creatures and beings, and of the great guardians of the supernatural, of the great guardians of the sacred world and of the sacred universe itself. Over the following centuries and years, the superhuman races were also wanted to be extinct, to be exterminated by the original Lolo Magic. When the original Lolo Magic began his glorified campaign, he discovered that the superhuman race may possess something that is very gratefully unique in his greatest quest to conquer death and to discover the secrets of immortality and the secrets of unlocking the mysteries of nature, the secrets of unlocking the mysterious secrets of nature, and the secrets of unlocking the secrets of shadow energy and its true powers and its potential, which he discovered that the superhuman race may have able to unlock those secrets for him. To do so, he promised some of the other superhuman races that he might actually spare them if they only decide to become his greatest followers in order for them to aid him with his rightful conquest and mission. The other superhumans joined forces with the Lolo Magic, while the other superhumans fought the war against the original Lolo Magic and helping the Phoenician hunters. Over the following years and during the ancient times, Valak, Hellfire, and Zacchaeus Darkest began an uprising of evil Phoenician hunters who also wanted to begin a quest of his own to fully annihilate the superhumans and the aliens and the supernaturals and the rest of their kind and their species in the process, to purify and cleanse the sacred world and the sacred universe, and to saving humanity from the destruction that these creatures could actually bring. In doing so, it created a friction among the Phoenician hunters, which began fighting amongst themselves, while the others devoted themselves to Zacchaeus Darkest and to Valak Hellfire, who obligated themselves in believing in the goal that the original Lord of Magic has already began in trying to annihilate the supernaturals, aliens, and superhumans. During that time, the superhumans exactly were sent to planet Earth in order to live amongst the human race, which they exactly began living amongst the human race for the following centuries and for the following years, while the others remained on the other worlds and planets of their own civilization. Some exactly hidden, some exactly protected themselves by hiding amongst the refugee worlds and planets and civilizations of the colonies, of the colony worlds of the warlocks, druids, witches, fairies, and faithful, who are all living together in a conquered population of in a conquered population of the colony cities and villages of the Red Empire nation worlds. Some lived among the darkest, most powerful worlds and planets of the dark, evil warlocks and druids and witches, who exactly set out in their own campaign to conquer worlds and planets from their own for their own evil, sinister purpose and their own sinister purpose and plans and their own goals as well. The superhuman race was quietly spread too thin as the Shadow Empire began its glorified, merciless conquest in conquering dozens of known worlds and planets and civilizations throughout the known universe, which the superhuman race was forced to fight back, which created in a very much result of them being exterminated. Many of the worlds and planets were gratefully being exterminated and being gratefully being annihilated in a process, which resulted in some of them being forced to be kept hidden and some of them being forced to be protected as well. During the previous ancient times, when when Chaos Bringer Jack wreaked havoc throughout the sacred magical worlds and throughout the sacred magical worlds of the sacred magic dimension, he exactly protected some of the superhumans and kept them in hidden, kept quietly exactly protected them by hiding them from the original Lord of Magic's dark forces of magical forces that were sent on a mission to hunt them down and to capture them alive for them to be experimented on or to either to be hunted and to be killed on sight. Chaos Bringer Jack exactly protected some of the superhumans. He hid many thousands of them and protected them from other magical worlds, hid them from other magical worlds and planets where the other superhumans began building themselves a better settlement for their own to live accordingly of their own customs, according to their own customs and according to their own rankings, where Chaos Springer Jack exactly reassured the superhuman race that they are safe from these worlds and these planets are unlocated. They can never be located by dark magic or by light magic spells or abilities, or anyone else greater or higher powerful can't exactly locate them. If they have the higher power and the higher ability, then they can actually find them. But if they don't possess it, then they won't be able to find them. The superhuman race was very grateful to Chaos Springer Jack, as they exactly told Chaos Springer Jack they viewed him as their savior. Chaos Springer Jack told the superhuman race that he's not exactly their savior. He was just doing them a favor while he was wreaking havoc and chaos throughout the sacred magic universe in order to hide his true intentions and his true motives by protecting the magical creatures and the superhuman race from being annihilated and from being extinct at the cost of his own freedom, for him to be trapped and turned into a statue of a stone, for him to be banished into the sacred magical world and to remaining as a statue for all eternity for his crimes against the sacred magic world and against the sacred magic universe as well, in the process by the stone fairies and by the Four-Nation Hunters as well, who decided to help stop this rampaging force of evil that could never be stopping, that could never stop its creating havoc and chaos throughout the sacred magic worlds and planets. Over the following years and centuries, the superhumans remained in their hidden worlds and their respective worlds and planets, while the others coexisted throughout humanity and lived amongst the humans for years and for centuries, undiscovered and unknown, fully unknown as well. On the 15th of February, when the power vacuum of the Shadow Empire began due to the disappearance of the Universal Heroes fighting a very powerful, sinister threat on the other side of the sacred universe. This time, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders exactly decided to form their own formidable factions and taking control of their own formidable factions, while the other Shadow Empire warlords commanders literally submitted themselves to the new Lord of Magic, pledging to join forces with them to becoming his high-ranking warlords and commanders to his new empire and to his ancient, secret, shadowy organization known as the Order of Power. During on that time, the superhumans were quietly well fortified and known of what exactly was happening, and they decided to still remain in the shadows of humankind and of humanity as well in the process. On the 25th of March, due to the Order of the Five exposing the United Heroes to the aliens, due to the Order of the Five exposing the United Heroes to the alien races and into all alien evil alien conquerors across the sacred universe and across the galaxy, which caught all the attention of evil alien conquerors and empires to go to Earth to investigate the mysterious and powerful dark origin of the superhuman beings and creatures that were quietly heavily created, which the discovery of the superhuman race was after all being discovered on that time. On the 15th of April, news covering footage was after all discovered when Mr. X exactly stated that the United Heroes are the baddest example across the known universe, which brought the attention of powerful alien conquerors and evil alien warlords and powerful alien criminals who set out to experiment on the superhumans who were exactly after all discovered. The United Heroes and the rest of the Universal Heroes realized that the Order of the Five and the founders did this on purpose and did this intentionally in order to get the attention of powerful evil alien conquerors and powerful evil alien warlords to come to investigate the mysterious origin of superhumans being created on planet Earth, rather than to investigate the mysterious origin on the sacred universe or on the sacred world itself as well. As Mr. S stated to the public, that the mysterious reappearance of superhumans and beings with greater power and great teleportation powers and abilities that are highly evolved were just the beginning of humans being extinct and being exterminated. As the other humans begin to ask Mr. X what would exactly happen to the rest of the other humans who are on the planet, and some humans were becoming these super beings and these super creatures, Mr. X exactly stated to the public that these beings of superpowered beings and creatures are freaks of nature who have quietly been living amongst the human race for over a century and for over years. Now it's time for their discovery to be discovered as well. On the 29th of May, the Mr. X exactly attended a good, great show of another show with another human associate known as Mr. Show, who was exactly asking him about the discovery of these superhuman creatures and beings, as Mr. X gave his greatest input and his opinion, stated to him that these super beings were actually discovered due to the attack that the United Heroes were actually fighting a powerful unknown war against powerful creatures and beings. As Mr. Show was able to ask Mr. X, what about this unknown war that these heroes were exactly fighting? Is this unknown war actually real, or was it just a powerful powerful fairy rumorable tale that that these United Heroes were actually making up? Mr. X exactly stated to Mr. Show that these powerful wars against freaks of nature were fighting up against each other is because of the forces of evil and the forces of good are seriously converging on all other worlds and planets and are seriously at war against each other. And it's the fault and it's a problem that the United Heroes have brought among humanity, as Mr. X started to show, with the repercussions and with the consequences of these super beings and these creatures being discovered by the most powerful evil alien conquerors and evil alien warlords who have come from their home worlds and from their respective home worlds and planets and systems to investigate the mysterious origin of the superhuman races as well. Mr. Show exactly told his people and the rest of the humans who were after all watching the show, he stated to them that these superhumans are purposely here to exterminate them, or rather here to wipe them out. Which question would rather be exactly for the rest of the human race, as Mr. Show told the rest of humanity as well. On the 20th of June, the United Heroes exactly all exactly convene on the central headquarters of the asteroid base, as they all exactly begin to talk about the outbreak that Mr. X has been making and the accusations and all the alleged accusations and everything else that he's taken to the public and blaming it to the United Heroes. As Four exactly told the members of the United Heroes that Mr. X is using these accusations in order to stir up fear and conflict among the superhuman community in order for the sacred world to be discovered. And the sacred world must never be discovered by no one. Otherwise, this will be an all-out war against supernaturals, aliens, superhumans on this planet and on this earth, especially with sinister evil forces of evil on the other side of the known universe that are fully beginning to converge and beginning to consecutively converge and all beginning to meet up. And they're fighting a powerful dark war that must never be discovered by humanity at all costs as well, which the members of the United Heroes began to exactly agree on that one, and they decided to take a different approach at this matter, which would rather resolve not exposing the existence of the sacred world and rather of the supernaturals that live and coincide within humanity, by taking a different approach at this matter in a very different angle and in a very different way as well. On the 25th of July, the superhuman race exactly met up with the Four Nation Hunter representative of the Intergalactic Coalition on the central headquarters of their bases within the sacred world. As stated to them, the Four Nation Hunter elders reassured them that humanity will not exactly create an all-out war in order for them to be exposed and to be extinct. The superhumans exactly weren't worried about an all-out war against humankind, as the superhumans exactly expressed their concerns and their worries that powerful ancient evil groups of supervillains are literally beginning to exploit them and are literally beginning to actually supply them and selling them out to the highest bidder and to the most powerful, dangerous, evil alien empires who are being used as weapons to fight powerful sacred galactic wars against the most powerful forces against the most powerful forces of evil and against the most powerful forces of the greater good. And the Four-Nation Hunter representative elders exactly told the superhumans that they'll do everything in their power to protect the superhuman race from being used as merciless weapons of mass destruction, to be used as merciless weapons of mass destruction by the most powerful, greater forces of evil across the known universe, and especially throughout the sacred universe as well. On the 29th of August, throughout the sector of the sacred universe, between the sector of the sacred universe and the known fringes of the universe, there were powerful battle cruisers and warships that were quietly at war with one another, and they were quietly being deployed by Dark Master's forces, which began fighting an all-out war against an ice creature, which was trying to conquer a planet and another world. Dark Master's forces began unleashing superhuman soldiers and armies that were quietly forced to act against their own will, being tracked and being controlled by mind controlling chips, which were activated at the back of the neck, which were used to become weapons of mass destruction, which they decimated an entire fleet of the ice creatures fleet, and thousands of them were completely destroyed and heavily destroyed. As this exactly showed the results that Dark Master is willing to exploit the superhuman race and its powers and its greater abilities to wipe out any obstacle that dare exactly opposes him as well. On the 29th of September, the Universal Council all exactly reconvened and met up with the Sacred Council and with the Power Council on the respective sacred villages and lands where they all exactly began speaking and convening and sitting on the tables on their chairs right now, speaking of the matters and the problems that the sacred worlds and the sacred nations and the sacred clans and the sacred universes are quietly facing. And they all probably agreed that the universal heroes and the Four-Nation Hunters are doing a very good job, but they are powerful, dangerous, shadowy, evil organization of criminal organizations that are very ancient and very powerful, very resourceful, who are exploiting these creatures and beings for their own evil purposes, and for their own dark reasons, in order to take control of the galaxy and the rest of the sacred universe and of the sacred world. They all agree that they have to combine their forces and their allied forces at once, while the other members disagreed that the respective sacred nations must fight for themselves and they must stand out for themselves. The others exactly disagree that the other powerful refugee villages and worlds that are not exactly heavily equipped with destructive and highly compatible technology, but they do have supernatural powers and abilities, while the others don't have supernatural powers and abilities to defend them against powerful forces of evil, with the universal heroes' resources stretched too thin, and with the intergalactic coalition of the Four-Nation Hunters' resources stretched too thin. The other refugee villages and the other worlds will be completely ravaged by war by the end of dawn, or by the end of the summer that's yet to come. They all agreed by raising up their hands, and the other members of the other councillors exactly devoted on the concerns of supporting the intergalactic coalition. They all exactly agreed on one objective, that they're doing this for the sacred universe and for the sacred world and for the rest of humanity, that mankind must never ever discover the sacred world and the sacred universe. Its true discovery would threaten everything, and it would bring an all-out war to all species and races, as they all purposely agreed on that. After that, the meeting was all adjourned as the other elders looked up upon the ancient, powerful statues within the sacred chamber. They were all exactly meeting up, seeing the greater origin statue, the Dark Witch Sisters origin statue, the powerful Dark Four-Nation Hunters origin statue, and the mysterious original River Magic's origin statue, and the mysterious statues of all the powerful ancient godlike monks and origins who are also exactly present within the ancient chambers hall, where the elders exactly met to discuss their problems and their concerns as well, where they looked up to the all great ancient magnificent statues of their previous godlike ancestor monks who were there before them. And there are many of the statues of them, meaning many of them. The magical dark crystal chamber houses 10,000 billions of statues of their previous ancestors and of their previous fallen warriors and of their greater warriors who died during the ancient times, and some who are quietly unremembered and unmourned, and who are also unknown throughout sacred history as well. on the on the 20th of October, the Universal Heroes exactly met up with the members with the respective members of the Four Nation Hunter Intergalactic Coalition on their home worlds and planets, where they all agreed that they'll actually share and then combine their resources to protecting the superhuman race from being discovered and from being used as vile weapons, which they discovered that is the only way to preventing political wars and evil politicians and corrupt powerful criminal superminds, leaders, and greater powerful, dangerous, elite criminal organizations to exploiting these creatures and beings for their power and protecting the supernatural race and the alien race from being exploited the same way as they're also about to be exploited. And they all agree that they share the common goal as well, and that they're willing to utilize their resources to combining them with the Universal Heroes resources. The Universal founders also came up and joined forces with the Universal Heroes, telling them that the superhuman race is one of their kind and that they understand exactly what it means to be a freak and what it means to totally to be an outsider. And they decided to join forces together because they share the same concern of their people and of their kind as well. And they all agree that they're in this together, no matter what. On the 25th of November, the superhuman races were at war with the other alien races on the alien jungle worlds and planets that were quietly on the fringes of the sacred universe, which a superhuman monster began rampaging and wreaking havoc, attacking aliens and all other creatures, which was being controlled by a mind controlling devices. The members of the United Heroes and the members of the United Heroes and of the Universal Heroes stepped in order to stop the havoc from increasing, and in order to stop the havoc from increasing and the rampaging from creating destructive damage across the alien jungles and worlds and planets, which the successful did. Some of the other aliens were quietly in mechs. They were wearing mechanical armor, and some were in the mechanical machine, able to protect themselves from the monsters. As the heroes arrived in just the nick of time, prevented the chaotic event from actually going any further, which they stopped the monster and saved it from being destroying everything else on its side, and also from able to be activating as a weapon. The aliens exactly told the Universal Heroes and the United Heroes that this creature and being is a mass destructive creature and a weapon that can never be controlled or either be utilized, and it was exactly sent and purpose to actually destroy them. The Universal Heroes exactly reassured the aliens that they're doing everything in their power to protecting the superhuman race and the alien races and the supernatural races from being attacked and from being exploited by powerful, dangerous groups of evil super villains and dangerous, powerful obstacles who are willing to exploit them for their own gain. The aliens exactly told the United Heroes and the Universal Heroes that they don't trust them and that they're willing to protect themselves and defend themselves the hard way, whatever it takes. They have powerful, highly evolved, adaptable, advanced technology which could do the trick and which could even the playing field and all odds from other sides. After that, they left in a powerful, dark, powerful crystal-like machine and exactly were never seen again. The Universal Heroes and the United Heroes realized that they're at war amongst their own kind and amongst their own people, and that the forces of evil are willing to exploit that war for their own gain and for their own evil purposes. Meaning, in other words, they have to slow down the progress of their plans, otherwise their ultimate goal will successfully bear fruit as well. On the 29th of December, elderly Granny exactly bowed down to Dark Master, as she exactly told Dark Master what her progress of her work and her greatest experiment has begun taking place. Elderly Granny exactly reassured her Lord and Master that these weapons are very powerful and are very greater than ever before, and that they've managed to actually prove to be deadly, terrifying weapons of mass destruction. Dark Master exactly told Elderly Granny all that he seeks is greater power and greater knowledge to conquer and have sole control over the sacred universe and over the known universe by any means necessary, especially that he has formed an alliance with an ancient secret society such as Sacred Five and the Order of the Five, meaning that these two powerful ancient secret societies have agreed to aid him with his respective goals, because they will soon benefit from his respective goals, since he's already supplying them with powerful, destructive, and compatible technology, such as the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders are doing the exact same thing, supplying the two ancient secret societies with respective, powerful, compatible, destructive destructive and powerful compatible technology as part of the ancient deal and as part of the ancient deal and part of the ancient pact they made centuries ago, many ages ago as well. Utterly Granny exactly began to reassure her master and her lord that this project will be the greatest successful project throughout Dark Master's empire's history, and that he will remain the sole ruler of the sacred universe and of the sacred known universe as well, and that no force or no obstacle will be able to stop him by completing his ultimate plans. Dark Master exactly was completely reassured as he told Utterly Granny nothing must jeopardize his long-term plans and goals, especially now that he has formed an alliance with powerful, formidable, ancient criminals who have greater and powerful resources and influence across the known universe and across the known worlds of the sacred universe, which makes them more powerful and more dangerous, and they can never be underestimated. As Elderly Granny exactly reassured her master Nord, that will not exactly happen, as she exactly told her master Nord as well. On the 25th of January, the superhuman race were completely at war with the Shadow Empire warlords and commandos on their home respective worlds as the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders began literally invading their worlds and their planets with a heavily adaptable destructive technology by literally taking them down and trying to enslave them with the destructive and highly advanced technology as well. The superhuman race fought with everything else it can, but the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders remain persistent and remain very much resilient as they continue to fighting up against the greater forces of the superhuman races and of the respective worlds and planets until the Four Nation Hunters and the Intergalactic Coalition of the Four Nation Hunters arrived with assistance and aid from the world heroes who came just in the nick of time to protecting the races of the superhuman and were able to make a very good difference as well. The Shadow Empire forces were forced to retreat as all their battle cruisers literally entered hyperdrive and completely exactly jumped to the next universe and to the next sacred universe or to the next sacred world and to the next star system, which they all completely vanished, straightly went into hyperspeed and they were never seen again after that. The Intergalactic Coalition and the world heroes exactly reassured the superhuman races that they have their backs and they're willing to actually to protect them as well. On the 20th of February, Animal Boy exactly met up with the Universal Heroes and with the Intergalactic Coalition of the Four Nation Hunters on the central headquarters, which is at a asteroid base, which is quietly in the middle of space, which is quietly in the middle of space, but it's between the solar system and between the known universe, but not exactly far away from Earth, but close, not exactly in far close range to Earth, but literally but closer. Despite that, Animal Boy exactly met up with the Universal Heroes and with the Four Nation Hunter members on their central headquarters where they were actually all able to convene, and he told them that they're beginning to spread a positive impact to the superhuman race and to its community, to making sure that the discovery of the sacred world never again becomes discovered. And they all agree that he's doing a very good job at it, and they must keep doing that so because it'll actually sway the attention of humanity to not digging deeper to any secrets of how these creatures were born or any type of them or how they actually came about. Only to know about the superhumans and the aliens, which is quietly fine, but the rest of the supernaturals and all the discovery of what's happening on the other side must never be revealed. And Animal Boy completely agreed with Grayson Ferris Unity, who is the prophesized child and the new Universal Man and the leader and founder of the Universal Heroes, that's exactly what will happen as well, and that he purposely agreed that's exactly what they'll do as well. On the 15th of March, Animal Boy exactly arrived on the respective homeworlds of the superhuman races, where he told them that the world heroes and the Four Nation Hunters have their back, as he reassured the superhumans that they were all willing to protect them and are willing to guide them and are willing to aid them. The superhumans agreed that the only way for them to protect themselves is for them to join forces with the Intergalactic Coalition, as the others told the others that they don't trust the Intergalactic Coalition of the Four Nation Hunters. And the Four Nation Hunters began stepping up and also telling them the truth that the Intergalactic Coalition has become rather compromised and being influenced by the new Lord of Magic, who's more powerful and more sinister and more dangerous than the previous original Lord of Magic, and he can never be underestimated or rather to be trusted as well. He is willing to fulfill the original goal and the original obligation of the previous Lord of Magic, who attempted to annihilate them and who attempted to exterminate them. Meaning, in other words, they have every right to not to trust the intergalactic coalition of the Four Nation Hunters. As the superhuman races begin to agree that they want to put their trust and faith to the universal founders, to the universal magic heroes, and to the world heroes, and to the universal heroes themselves, and to the universal water heroes, fire heroes, and earth heroes, and all the other members and all the allies of the universal heroes, which they'll be able to exactly trust them, but they're willing to protect themselves and are willing to guide them. The elder Lee of the Four Nation Hunter Council exactly told the superhuman races that he's willing to share them with powerful battle cruisers, highly adaptable airship fleets, and very, very modified airship fleet that can exactly protect them and guide them, which can transport them across any world and any planet throughout the sacred universe and across the sacred magic dimension, where they'll all live with the other magical creatures. As the superhumans began to agree on that one, they successfully began to actually trust them on that view or a point of view as well. On the 29th of April, the superhuman races exactly began to trust in the world heroes and the rest of their kind, as they all exactly began to look up on the ancient statues of the previous unknown original founder of the superhuman monk, who was never revealed and never known. And despite that, they came to believe that they were not the only first superhumans who actually existed in the sacred world and in the sacred universe, meaning that they are more of the ancient ancestors and predecessors who also began to live up on that day as well. On the 25th of May, one superhuman mysteriously teleported to the central headquarters of Lord Shadowjack's homeworld and planet, where he completely bowed down to Lord Shadowjack and gave him all the information and all the knowledge and everything else that Lord Shadowjack required. And Lord Shadowjack was very completely happy and satisfied with all the information, as Lord Shadowjack told the superhuman who actually provided him with the greatest information that what he actually said many, many centuries ago did exactly begin to bear pass, as he actually said, as he told the superhuman ally who aided him and who stayed with him along the other side. The superhuman ally told Lord Shadowjack that they were very grateful for your advice and for your predicament, which actually bared fruit one way or another, and they're successfully very grateful that they actually see it themselves, to rather not mysteriously actually judge it, rather than not mysteriously actually turning away from what you actually said many centuries ago. Rather not than that, the superhuman exactly told Lord Shadowjack that there are many superhuman followers who are now beginning to believe your predicament and your word. All they need now is your support and your allies. Lord Shadowjack told the superhuman that he will supply him a powerful dark magical warlocks, a group of dark, powerful, formidable magical warlocks who will aid the rest of your followers and your kind to on your respective missions and everything else, as long as you keep this conspiracy and us associated with one another a secret, that none of the other species and races must never know that you are all exactly, some of you are actually loyal to me and very independent on me and my ultimate and greater cosmic resources, as they both of them actually agreed on that as well, as they actually agreed on that. The superhuman ally teleported himself away and he was never again seen. Elderly Granowich exactly revealed herself from the shadows of the throne room and told Lord Shadowjack that the preparations and everything else had begun taking places, and that the leader of the Eclipse clan, known as Infinita, wishes to speak to you. Infinita exactly told Lord Shadowjack that everything else has been set into motion, and that all that awaits is for the plan to finally fall into place. Lord Shadowjack told his mysterious associate that the war that's coming is going to be very big and very, very powerful and dark. If Dark Master and the Winter King and I cannot exactly find a common ground to conquer the sacred universe as one being and as one forces, which will be a day of reckoning, which either of us will have to die and either of us will have to come. Either of us will have to fight each other and confront each other on a bare foot. And there can only be one ruler and sole ruler of the sacred universe and of the known universe. If Dark Master and the Winter King and the Universal Prince and the Star Prince and Red Bolt are not willing to come to terms, would they have that we all have to fight and confront one another, then it's best that we use the Universal Heroes and the United Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition as pawns in order to serve our purpose. As Elderly Granny Witch agreed that she has a perfect devious plan in order to manipulate the events that are about to unfold in place. And Lord Shadowjack exactly relishes as he was about to know that the plan is definitely about to take place as well. On the 25th of June, the superhuman counselors and elders exactly all agreed that everything else must begin taking place as they all exactly convene on an ancient, powerful dark crystal temple and all agreed that what's happening now must exactly stop. And they all decided that it's best for them to preserving their customs and their ancient ways before they're completely extinct. Unannounced and unaware to the other superhumans is that there was a powerful dark witch of a mind sister who was actually manipulating and controlling a superhuman elder and a council from the shadows, as the superhuman elder council exactly told them they must do exactly as they said, as the other councils agreed that they will do exactly as commanded and they'll fulfill their rightful purpose and their job to make sure that the extermination of their kind never successfully bears fruit. On that very day, in a very different crystal catacomb chambers of the crystal of the dark crystal catacombs of the city beneath the ancient chambers, one elderly superhuman was able to meet up with the dark witch known as the Mind Sister and exactly told them the preparations are set to go, meaning using me as a pawn to convince the other counselors worked as a success, and the world heroes are willing to protect and defend the community of the superhuman races as well. The Mind Sister thanked the elderly superhuman elder for his great cooperation and great contribution, and exactly told him that Lord Jet would mercifully thank you with your gratitude and he would reward you with many beautiful, miraculous worlds as a way to show you that he's gratefully indebted to you and he's gratefully completely entrusted to you with his greatest loyalty. The Mind Sister told and the Already Council Superhuman Elder that the superhuman race must still begin to revolt and it must still continue to revolting against the Formation Hunters and against the obstacles that they oppose them. The cosmic balance of power is literally beginning to collapse slowly, and the sacred world is at the brink of total annihilation, collapse, and the universal heroes and the united heroes and the other sacred heroes are willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that the collapse successfully doesn't actually collapse, meaning the bridge to peace must be maintained in a different direction, meaning you're the one who must be promoted to take in a rightful high-ranking seat in order for you to convince the other counselors to oppose the other sacred counselors of the sacred world by getting the powerful ultimatical vote of the Universal Council, which they will persuade the Universal Elders to join forces with your decision by coercing them, or rather persuading them in a different direction to actually align them to your way of thinking. And the elderly superhuman council was very pleased with the revelation of the Mind Sister and exactly told the Mind Sister that he's very grateful for your advice and for your input and for your opinion on the matter, which he'll start taking that different approach as well. Regardless of the less, guys, the superhuman races is a very ancient and powerful race, very skillful race, very resourceful race. They believe in coexisting with humanity and with the aliens, the superhumans, and with the aliens, and with the superhumans, with the aliens, and with the supernaturals of the sacred world. They have lived for centuries and during many years within and residing within humanity for many years and for many centuries. The super gene is actually a powerful genetic gene that has a greater ability of creating adaptable, granting a normal person with superhuman powers, with greater superhuman powers, with super strength, super speed, telekinesis, telepathic powers, darker abilities of teleportation, some of neutralizing magic, resources of connecting to magical crystals, some with the greater powers of opening portals, others with the greater abilities of sensing targets, with the greater abilities of astral projecting, creating powerful monsters and powerful beings and creatures at will. The superhuman race is a very resourceful race, loving, kind, and very compassionate. But some of the many other superhumans had begun to believe in the old ways of the original Lord of Magic and in the old ways of the ancestors and of their kind. And some are allies to the world heroes and some are allies to the universal heroes, which they actually believe in their work and in their good works and in their good deed. And they solely believe in their mission and in their way. And they still believe in coexisting with the supernaturals and with the aliens of the sacred world and of the sacred universe and of the rest of humanity. They come from the sacred universe and from the sacred world as well. Their origins are completely a mystery, as their previous ancestor, known as a superhuman original founder, remained an unknown mystery to their kind, who was also the first among their kind, was able to disappear, but was after all an unknown, who was after all an unknown founder to the rest of the species and became a very powerful ancestral godlike figure of the rest of his descendants and the rest of his ancient descendants and of his kind. The superhuman are greater descendants and a powerful descendants of the original superhuman monk who had lived during the age and before the age of humanity was ever born and ever created. That makes them very powerful and very ancient and very dangerous during the ancient ways and the ancient times. They are a very powerful, formidable race and a very formidable species with abilities of teleportation, some with abilities of powerful teleportation, astral projection, mind controlling, telekinesis, flight, super strength, super speed, immunity to dark magic. Some are given powers to be immune to spells. Others are given the power of super speed and telepathic, and others have been given the powers of calculating things in a far way. Some are given the powers to see. Others are given the powers of actually seeing the future and of actually wanting to see the past. Others are given the power of utilizing light energy and combining light energy, and others are given the power of dark magic. Others are granted the powers of darkness. Some are granted the greater powers and greater, powerful, higher powers of mind controlling and of telepathic abilities and of combining science with dark magic and with light magic at will. Others are hybrids. Others are tribrids of the species of the supernaturals and of the Four Nation Hunters. Some have super strength, others have super limping, super hearing, super sight, super sensing, very powerful telekinesis powers and greater abilities given to them. Others have the greater powers and greater abilities granted to them and given to them. The super gene is a genetic genome the greater genetic genome of the superhuman body, which creates a powerful evolution within the human DNA, which grants normal people superhuman powers and super abilities as the super gene continue to actually evolve over the following centuries, as it gave some Four Nation Hunters superhuman powers and superhuman abilities, granting them powerful supernatural abilities and superpowers, which, like as I actually said before, there are other Four Nation Hunters who've been granted greater powers and greater abilities of superhuman abilities and superpowers, and other supernaturals who've been granted the same abilities of the superhuman genetic DNA, which makes them hybrids and tribrids and hybrids of the species of their races and of their kind. That makes them exceptionally powerful, very skilled, and very dangerous. The superhuman race is a powerful, deadly race, a very kind, noble, honorable race. It has lived at the dawn of the sacred world and at the evolution of sacred existence, even at the age of the children of destiny, who are the next predecessors and ancestors of their kind and of the original kind of their being, who are also responsible for their previous descendants, them actually evolving and adapting, which created powerful witches, highly evolved witches, fairies and druids and superhuman creatures and beings and magical creatures who began evolving and adapting to their powers and rising to their fullest potential as well. Makes them very genetically special and very, very powerful as well. They are a very ancient race and a very ancient being, a very powerful species and a race that believe in coexisting and in living together in harmony with the Four Nation Hunters and with the aliens of their kind and of their people. And they also been living amongst the humans for many years and for many centuries. They are very, very, very good at maintaining their usual bases of operation, as well as a central headquarters, which is a powerful crystal temple, a beautiful temple that's quietly on the outskirts and on the fringes of the known worlds and of their planets. And they have many beautiful worlds, planets, civilizations under their sole control, which they manage to actually utilize, whether to actually destroying and straining the planet's resources for their own selfish deed. They actually came to love the planet the way it is, and they actually came to utilize its greater resources for the greater good. They are very resourceful race, very powerful. Some of the superhuman races were exploited by powerful forces of evil, being supplied and being shipped off world, by planet, by dangerous, evil, ancient, shadowy organizations such as the Order of the Five, the Founders, the Sacred Circle, Order of the Six, the Galactic Unholy Alliance, the most powerful, dangerous, elite criminal organizations who are also like them, the supernatural creatures and beings just like them, have begun to exploit them for their own evil purposes and for their own evil ends, making deals and powerful sacred ancient pacts with powerful, evil, dark, formidable, ancient cosmic entities such as Dark Master, Lord Shadowjack, and Winter King, the Red Empire King, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, in order for them to utilizing their resources in using these creatures and these beings' powers and abilities to conquering many worlds, and also to conquering many worlds and slaughtering and decimating many alien conquerors and many alien evil conquerors and planets and bounty hunters who are sent from unknown worlds and planets to catch and apprehend these amazing, extraordinary beings and these creatures. The superhuman race is of the sacred world. They come from the sacred world and of the sacred universe. Their origins predates and also comes back throughout the ancient times and many millennia of the ancient ways of the sacred founders and of the sacred founders of the sacred world, who are the original godlike monks and ancestors of the supernaturals and of the formation hunters as well. Very powerful, very greater noble species that believes in coexisting and living amongst humanity. And living amongst humanity and mankind, and that is willing to do whatever it takes that they live amongst humanity. But the others have become distrustworthy of humankind and the rest of the universal heroes, that they formed powerful ancient alliances with Lord Shadowjack, Dark Master, and the rest of the empires and the Shadow Empire warlords and the dark magic users to aid them on their respective quest and mission and their goals for them to become the next soul rulers. So as you can see, the sacred universe and the sacred world is literally on the brink of collapse of war, and the superhuman race is caught up in a powerful inter-sacred dark galactic war between the forces of evil fighting amongst the other forces of evil and the forces of good that are at war with the forces of evil. And the superhuman race are used as weapons and are being exploited by the most powerful, deadly, sacred, ancient, shadowy, criminal organizations that are actually using them for their own evil purposes to take control of the sacred world and of humanity in the process, to remain the sole rulers of the cosmos. Well, guys, that's it for today. I'll actually see you tomorrow on Friday. Have a wonderful day and have a great day. And like and subscribe. I'll actually appreciate your support. Actually, guys, I'll be able to do the Friday's episode tomorrow, but I won't be able to upload it on YouTube tomorrow. I'll be able to upload it on YouTube on Monday. You'll receive it on TikTok, those of you are watching TikTok, and you'll receive the shorts, those of you are watching shorts, on Friday as well. Have a wonderful day and a blessed day, and stay happy. Like and subscribe. Today's episode was the superhuman race of the sacred world. So have a wonderful day and have a great day. Have a great day indeed, guys. Stay happy and stay safe, and may God bless you and protect you all. Love you all. Take care and have fun. Stay safe and happy. Bye. Bye.